Sawasdee good morning, and thank you for joining us on Newsline. We're airing live on NBT Radio Thailand, FM 88, and NBT World. Today is Sunday, July 12, 2015. My name is Suraphalaw Tharanarit. Welcome to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. First up, Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha is convinced that China will keep its promise in guaranteeing the safety of all Muslim Uyghurs whom Thailand has recently repatriated. According to Prime Minister Prayut, the Thai government has verified all information carefully before repatriating 109 Uyghurs back to China, with the Chinese government's assurance that the safety of all deported individuals will be guaranteed. With all processes in accordance with the humanitarian principles, international organizations should not criticize how Thailand has handled this situation, the Prime Minister said. General Prayut also assured that the repatriation process had been in line with the law and with consideration of international relations, although it was inevitable for the authorities to follow all processes related to illegal immigrants. He added that as the issue was very sensitive, the media should be watchful in their reports, as they could affect international ties with other countries. The Prime Minister has pledged that the government will continue to reclaim all woodlands while initiating an integrative campaign to rehabilitate all deteriorated upstream forests. Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha said during his weekly TV program, Returning Happiness to the People, that while the government is pursuing its policy to protect all natural resources, which are the national treasures, all Thais should be reminded to lend a hand in conserving them for the next generations. He said that the Natural Resources and Environment Ministry had already been ordered to make an assessment of the encroachment on the upstream forest in the north, where the origins of many rivers are located. Disturbingly, the Prime Minister said that around 800,000 people have encroached upon more than 8.6 million rai of forest land, resulting in an estimated economic loss of at least 469 billion baht. He stated that all encroachers, particularly the people who have paid for such an illegal operation, will be prosecuted, while the search for the solution to such a problem will be a long-term and integrated process. Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha stated that the 7th Mekong Japan Summit, which was held in Japan from July 2nd to 4th, has been a success. The Prime Minister thanked the Japanese government for the warm hospitality and said Thailand asserted to the meeting its role as one of the committed partners in developing and defining the Tokyo Strategy 2015 for Mekong-Japan cooperation. One of the highlights in the strategy is the sustainable development, which prioritizes disaster risk reduction, climate change, water conservation, and water resources management. General Prayut also signed a memorandum of understanding with Myanmar and Japan on promoting investment in the southern Mekong sub-region, which is being called Thailand 1. The talks also entailed a proposal to create agricultural cooperation and establish agricultural markets for Thai products in Mekong member nations. The development of skilled labor and occupational training exercise cooperation, which was also included in the discussion. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has chaired a meeting to follow up on the progress of investments in the country during the first 5 months of this year. The Prime Minister has presided over the meeting of the Board of Investment, or BOI, in order to assess the impacts the recent Chinese equity market crash could have on the country, as well as to hear the report on investments in the country during the first 5 months of this year. Major investment projects from the BOI included the purchasing of electricity from biofuel plants in the 3 southernmost provinces of Thailand. The meeting also touched on the lifting of restrictions on small to medium-sized enterprises in accordance with its policy of facilitating investment in the country's special economic zones as well as the southern border provinces. The meeting, in addition, discussed measures to promote social enterprises, set special fees for metal products, and the potential revision of the Investment Promotion Act 1977. The Committee for the 2016 fiscal budget has approved the budget for 12 ministries, with its figures revised down by 5 billion baht. The committee spokesperson Chat Udom Tithasiri revealed that the committee is in the process of approving the budget for the Ministry of Social Development and Human Security. The committee has approved the allocation of approximately 1 trillion baht out of the total budget of 2.72 trillion baht. The 5 billion baht decrease was the result of the committee shaving off various excess expenses from the 12 ministries, such as seminars, office supplies, and facilities. The Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, or BMA, has announced 80% progress in its improvement of the landscape along the route of the upcoming Bike for Mom activity. Executives of the BMA have followed up on the landscaping works being conducted on several roads ahead of the Bike for Mom campaign in honor of Her Majesty the Queen on her 83rd birthday anniversary this August 12th. Accompanying the BMA executives were officials from 6 districts of Bangkok, where the participating cyclists will be traveling through, namely Dusit, Ratchathewi, Phaya-thai, Jatuchak, Bang Khen, and Din Dang districts. Thus far, the landscaping of all the featured roads has progressed by 80%. Responsible authorities are trimming branches, rearranging utility lines, cleaning sidewalks, and repainting traffic lines, while promotional banners for the Bike for Mom activity are being installed across the city in an effort to draw in more participants. According to the BMA, the road surface on Si Ayutthaya Road, Pahon Yotin Road, and around the Victory Monument is being improved, and completion is expected no later than July 20th. In order to avoid obstructing people's commute, the works are being carried out only at night, without any road closure. Farmers in many parts of the country have begun rice cultivation after continued rainfalls. In the southern province of Pattani, local rice growers have started to grow paddies after the Provincial Irrigation Office declared that the current water supplies in reservoirs were ample for farming. Officials are surveying areas along the irrigation routes to estimate the number of farmers before arranging the seed and water distribution. In the northeastern province of Buriram, parched paddies have begun to revive thanks to the cloudbursts over the past 2 days. Agriculturists living outside the irrigation zone are also preparing their soil for the seasonal farming. The coming of rainfalls not only brought the dying crops back to life, but also saved other economically important plants. In the central province of Phitsanulok, longan growers whose outputs were damaged by the prolonged dry season now have the opportunity to make some profits, as badly needed rainwaters have given a boost to their orchards. The Department of Water Resources has arranged a seminar and exhibition on Thailand's water management strategy and given updates on the drought situation. Representatives of the department said in the seminar that the National Water Management Strategy had the objective to promote public participation and create awareness on how the government managed the country's water resources. This year's average rainfall at the beginning of the rainy season was lower than normal due to El Niño and the Indian Ocean dipole. The department has forecast that the 2015 average rainfall would be lower than 7 to 10%. However, from August to September 2015, more rain is expected across Thailand. The department said the most important thing was to discharge water from reservoirs according to demand for cultivation purposes. It stressed that the country needed to follow the National Water Management Strategy, which covered 6 aspects, such as water consumption, wise use of water, improvement to reservoirs, and water security in the production sector. The Ministry of Public Health has declared its health fair at Padung Krung Kasem Canal a success, having lured over 20,000 visitors in less than a week. According to Public Health Minister Dr. Rachata Nawin, the ministry's health fair has already raked in over 2 million baht since its July 7th opening. The event not only received a warm welcome from Thai people, but was also of interest to foreign diplomats. Over 100 herbal and traditional medicine operators took part in the exhibition. Bestsellers include dry fruit, cosmetics, herbal drinks, and spa products. Next week's activities at the Klong Padung Krung Kasem Market Fair will be based on the theme of Alzheimer prevention. The Ministry of Public Health will be sharing a number of useful tips for memory enhancement and an anti-aging lifestyle. An on-site clinic will also be available to offer health services such as counseling services for caregivers of Alzheimer patients, massage therapy, acupuncture, and flu vaccination. The health fair will be held until July 26th at Padung Krung Kasem Canal beside Government House. And that's the end of today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. Before we take a quick break, let's have a look at the exchange rates and commodity prices.
To maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. The 7th core value, understanding true democratic ideals with His Majesty the King as head of state.
How could you do that to me? Stop it! Huh? Don't you get it? I don't need you anymore. Enough! We're through. There's someone else in my life.
Say no to the past. Bring your own bag. Say no to plastic.
Swadee krab, this is Thailand at large.
The show which is about to take you to the new experiences with the exciting stories.
With charming fascination.
With a touch of Thainess.
Let's join us on NBT World.
Explore with us and you'll know and love Thailand even more than before.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs of Cambodia, Ho Nam Hong, has paid a courtesy call on Thai Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha with a view to strengthening the two countries' relations. Deputy Government Spokesperson Major General Weerachon Sukhonthapatipak revealed that Prime Minister Prayut has had a chance to meet with Mr. Nam Hong at Government House on the occasion of the latter's official visit to Thailand to attend a foreign minister's retreat. According to Major General Weerachon, the two sides expressed contentment with the situation along the Thai-Cambodian border, which has remained peaceful. They also discussed the joint development of border trade and the determination to uplift the quality of life for laborers. Other topics included bilateral cooperation in transport and tourism. The Cambodian Deputy Prime Minister reportedly informed General Prayut that preparations are being made for the visit to Cambodia by Her Royal Highness Princess Mahachakri Sirinthorn in early 2016. He said activities will be held to honor the princess for her role in educational development and betterment of Cambodian workers' living condition. Major General Weerachon noted that the Thai-Cambodian relationship is blossoming this year, as the two neighbors are set to celebrate the 65th anniversary of their diplomatic ties. Economic ministers from Southeast Asia and 6 other countries will be meeting in Malaysia early next week to join the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or RCEP, meeting. Deputy Commerce Minister Apiradi Tantraporn said participating nations were expected to discuss the planned free trade among 10 ASEAN members and 6 partners: China, South Korea, Japan, India, Australia, and New Zealand. The 16 nations are to conclude the negotiations late this year. According to Ms. Apiradi, ASEAN will have a pivotal role in the regional bloc if the conclusion is reached in this meeting. With more than 3 billion people, half of the world's population, the partner countries will be the largest trading bloc with a combined trade value of $10.7 trillion. Thailand exports more than 57% of its goods to these trading partners. Its major exports include auto parts, plastic pellets, chemical products, rubber, and computer parts. The RCEP was launched in 2012 to promote free trade within the bloc. The RCEP meeting is scheduled for July 13th in Kuala Lumpur. And moving on to the international news. Eurozone finance ministers began discussions on Saturday to consider Greece's reform proposals as the country hoped for a third bailout to keep finances afloat. Greek Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras won backing from lawmakers on Saturday for painful reforms, but it remained unclear it would be enough to secure the bailout from German and other Eurozone ministers meeting in Brussels. In Parliament overnight, Tsipras had to rely on opposition votes from the right after some of his leftist allies opposed spending cuts, tax rises, and other measures he proposed in order to unlock 54 billion euros in 3-year credit and save Greece from bankruptcy that would force it out of the Eurozone. Germany, the biggest creditor in 2 previous bailouts, totaling 240 billion euros or $265 billion, is deeply skeptical after 5 months of abortive negotiations. Eurozone sources said it was far from certain that the 19-strong Eurogroup of finance ministers would agree to open negotiations at the crisis meeting in Brussels. German Finance Minister Wolfgang Schäuble, as well as French Finance Minister Michel Sapin, arrived more than 2 hours early, as did new Greek Finance Minister Euclid Tsakalotos. IMF head Christine Lagarde said on arrival, quote, "I think we're here to make a lot more progress." With Athens staring at a bankruptcy that could see it crash out of the Eurozone after financial markets reopen on Monday, EU officials forecast agreement would be reached by the end of the weekend to keep Greece afloat, but not before ministers and government leaders had vented their wrath at Tsipras. Typhoon Janhom triggered heavy rain and flood and caused economic losses estimated at 1.9 billion yuan in Zhejiang province after making landfall on China's eastern coast on Saturday evening. Surveillance video shows that heavy rain brought by Janhom pelted down at Putuo Temple, an iconic ancient architecture in Zhejiang's Zhoushan city, and strong winds knocked down trees in the temple's yard. In Ninghai County, which is 80 kilometers from the typhoon's landing spot, torrential rain flooded roads in most of the townships. A local fish pond spilled over rainwater, causing heavy losses to its owner. Many homes and power and telecommunications facilities were damaged, and 32,000 hectares of orange orchards flooded. Although high winds weakened later in the day, rainstorms continued to batter the typhoon's landing areas. Firefighters in Ningbo City were dispatched to typhoon-hit areas to remove damaged advertising boards on buildings. According to the provincial authorities of Zhejiang, the typhoon has affected 5 cities, 23 counties, and 179 townships, with a total population of 717,000 in the province. Economic losses caused by the typhoon were estimated at around 1.9 billion yuan, according to the provincial authorities. A bull decided to turn back and return to the start of the course, disrupting the 5th day of the running of the bulls in Pamplona on Saturday. After the traditional firework was launched to start the event at 6 GMT, the bulls charged down the street towards the bull ring, only for one to become distracted after 100 meters, turn around, and head back to where it had come from. The recalcitrant bull called Curioso I was penned in again, giving organizers a headache on how to transfer the beast down to join the others, given that the thousands of tourists who visit the northern Spanish city each year had been allowed to return to the streets after the event. The other bulls from the Jose Escolar Gill herd completed the route in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. A bear that climbed a tree on a university campus in Colorado fell to the ground on Friday after being shot with a tranquilizer gun. The bear was spotted in the tree near a residence hall about 30 feet above ground. Wildlife officials said the 2-year-old bear was resting in the tree for about 4 hours before they decided to tranquilize it. Crews pushed mats under the tree to help cushion the bear's fall. But when the bear slid from the tree, it hit the edge of the mat and bounced to the hard ground instead. The bear could be seen moving and breathing after the fall. Officials say the bear will soon be relocated away from the campus. And that's it for today's edition of Newsline. If you have any comments or suggestions, please feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook or visit our website at thainews.prd.go.th/newsin. And for today, we're going to say goodbye with a Russian zoo unveiling a newly born albino fawn. I'm Suraphat Lautharanarit. Thank you for your company and have a great day. สวัสดีครับ